I want to call you a therapeutic public speaker because you really delve into the psyche.
Confident people are people who inject emotion, inject power, vitality in their work. Being on stage is not something that comes natural to any human being. I've developed selective mutism when I was 7 when my father passed away, which means that in school, when I had to stand up and answer, I couldn't.
Yeah.
Why do you allow the narrative of but you're Romanian, but you're German, but you're Syrian, but you're Egyptian and you have an accent? Why do you allow that to get to you? When it comes to authenticity, it's very black and white. You are or you are not.
Hi guys, and welcome to the Pulp Podcast. Today we have a guest who transforms everyday people, leaders, and even royals into how to bring confidence to the stage, how to speak publicly, how to present in front of the camera. And I'm very excited to have her on because I've seen her work. It is very unique, and I'm going to tell you why now. Hi, Andrea. How are you?
Hi, Yasmine. That's very sweet of you. Thank you for having me.
Andrea, the reason why I have you on today and the reason why I thought you would be such an awesome guest for me and the audience is because you have such a unique approach to public speaking. It's not the typical, I guess, technical know-how. It comes from a place of, like, I would say, I want to call you a therapeutic public speaker because you really delve into the psyche of a person before they go on stage. So my first question to you is, what do you think is the trigger in your life that happened that made you feel that public speaking could be your purpose in life? Take us back to your life story.
Whoa. I would like to start strong by giving you the essence of that answer and then slowly unpack it.
Yeah.
I am the kid with the fragmented, broken confidence who went head on into modeling, then head on into presenting in the UAE, especially as an expat, and then went into public speaking and public speaking mentoring to somehow subconsciously face my biggest fears head on.
Okay. Which was not having confidence?
I wasn't confident at all. I wasn't able to speak. I had developed something that is called, I've developed selective mutism when I was 7 when my father passed away. Which means that in school, I couldn't stand and answer my teachers. I couldn't pass my oral exams. I was a very studious child, learning, reading, passing all my exams with high scores. But when I had to stand up and answer, I couldn't.
Yeah.
So that was my lifestyle, my life up until I graduated.
Right.
And then I came to the UAE and I started enrolling and having a lifestyle and living here. And I started modeling, which was a break from not being able to speak, because when you model, you just bank on your looks and then life moves on. When modeling as a career has a short shelf life. And I was like, okay, I want to move next. And I loved people. I loved energy. I loved the stage and everything that has to do with entertainment, just like you.
Yeah.
So I was like, so I said to myself, I want to go into presenting, because many things happened and I was really attracted by this new career. I did not have the skills. I did not have the competence, and I did not have the voice. So spiritually, I was attracted by the idea of lights, presenting, being with people, being on stages. But on a skills and competence level, I was a zero.
I just want to touch on the fact that you had selective mutism. That is a very, I guess it's, I don't know how rare it is. I'm not sure about the percentages of, people having that, but does that mean that you could speak?
I could, but selectively, meaning I was more secluded and closed and almost feeling that the world is a dangerous place and no one understands me. And it was a psychological
response
to my father's loss.
Okay.
And so today it has become my gift because it led me to take the pulse of every single individual in front of me. It gave me the sensitivity to hear in every sound of their voice, in every micro expression, where they are, where they are psychologically. Are they comfortable in their body? Are they comfortable in their life? I'm able to decode and really feel where a person is, what troubles them, what keeps them, what blocks them from being in their full expression, confident, alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. I feel like that is something that plagues us a lot these days also in terms of, the lack of confidence or not being able to find our voice. What do you teach people that you wish you had been taught when you first started out as a public speaker?
I love this question.
Yeah.
I wish I wish someone would have told me when I was 28, 29, when I started on this career, that it's okay not to know a lot.
Okay.
And to just focus on what you know and be proud of it, embrace it and live in it, breathe life and love into whatever it is that you know.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are 19, if you are 22, be proud of the knowledge that you have at 19 and 22.
Yeah.
If you're 60, you have so much more reasons to embrace your life experience. So when I started in my career, I really wish someone would have told me, own it and believe in yourself, because God believed. That's why you are alive.
Ooh, okay. I like that. See, this is why you're the therapeutic speaker, because you're connecting it to something a bit higher than yourself, right?
But I had to hear this for myself first, Yasmine, because I was still coaching people, making a very good life here in Dubai, with like 20 years of living in the UAE, and I was still not believing in myself. Doubt was still creeping in. And I had to find the cure for why this negative chatter is happening, where the lack, the scarcity, the not enoughness is coming from.
Yeah.
It was my medicine first.
Okay. Fear is a huge part of this, right? As you said, when you had the selective mutism, it was a fear. It was a fear of the unknown, a fear of danger, a fear of so many things. What do you think now, when you coach CEOs and leaders and royals and everyday people, what do they fear the most? Because we know that public speaking is one of the most feared activities, you would say.
It is one of the most feared activities primarily because people focus too much on Andreea, you, Yasmine, when you're speaking. So then I think that all these lights are, so my hair, my body, my ideas, my knowledge, you're putting yourself under the radar because it's only one person.
Okay.
And then maybe 10 or 100 or 10,000. So it's a natural reaction to focus too much on how I am perceived. So the opposite of that, the extreme, is fall in love with what you want to say to these people. Fall in love, for example, I am in a love relationship with my message about freeing yourself from this fear. Everybody should be a confident person. Everybody should be a confident communicator. I want to touch the lives of as many people as possible. So I'm in love with this idea.
Yeah.
I want to simplify public speaking. I want to go on all the podcasts I'm ever going to be invited to share this message from my heart. Okay. So when I am in love with my message, whichever my message is, when I really know if I have in front of me Emiratis, doctors, Indians, Filipinos, Romanians, Palestinians, so which nationality do I have in front of me? What is their day-to-day activity? What is their psyche? If I know them and if I am in love with my idea, I will be able to focus on them, on the core message, on the stories, on my outcome, not on me.
So in other words, focus on the message, focus on the outer kind of expression rather than yourself.
And today, and when we say this, it sounds simple and easy. But everybody who is serious about becoming a better communicator, a better presenter, and a public speaker needs to go under the practice of focusing on the audience, falling in love with the message. You have to practice it a few times because your psyche is on an automatic circuit of focusing on you first.
Right.
So you have to break that cycle through practice.
Oh, I love that. Okay, that's great. Because that will take me into the next part, which is the practice of public speaking. Because it is a practice, right? It's a muscle that we need to practice. And what do you think is the first and foremost quality that somebody should have in order to go into public speaking? Is there something that they should naturally have, or is there no prerequisite?
If I have to really pin the top quality, I would say if you want to become a good, well-known, popular, famous, respected public speaker, you want to activate the desire to generously share the message with your audience. You have to be a generous person. You have to desire to share a message. When that's your intention, when you lead with love for, let's remove when you take a cause and you want to fight for a cause and you are in love with the outcome and you have the vision of what's possible, that will make you a persuasive thought leader. That will make you a persuasive leader who brings the team together.
Right. So what do you think somebody should know about themselves before they go out into a crowd or in front of a camera or into a meeting? Is there something that they should know? Maybe even an affirmation. No, okay, let's not talk about affirmations yet. But maybe it's something that they should know before going into the public space.
Yasmine, I love your questions.
Thank you.
What should someone know about themselves before speaking?
Before speaking publicly?
I think they should check in with themselves in the moment in the day. What is their state? And find out how they can be in the most neutral, relaxed, loving state in order to be able to connect. So what they should know about themselves is, how can I bring myself in the best state? Also, if you don't have years of experience, like I've been in the industry for more than 15 years now, if you are new, if you are 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, identify that weakness and make sure that you're covering it 1 or 2 days in advance.
And is it on a day-to-day basis, or does a person have to really kind of know themselves before, or is it more on like a whim? So, for example, if I'm having a bad day and I know that I have to MC or something a little bit later on, and I tell myself, okay, I have to recalibrate myself. Yeah, right. So I have to recalibrate myself. But but since it's a practice, is it just for that one day? Or should we or is it something that's like continuously kind of, we have to tell ourselves something?
So public speaking is you being on a small, medium, or bigger, larger stage. Being on stage, first of all, is not something that comes natural to any human being. We haven't been taught to, so it's not natural to be yourself in front of 100 people, because nobody can really be themselves in front of 100 people. You cannot bring Yasmine, who has a coffee and is in some pajamas with her BFF over Zoom with the hair up in front of 100 people, and nobody can do that. So the stage will amplify who you are. So one thing that you should know about yourself is what you want to calibrate. What do I want to really expose from my personality? If your friends, colleagues tell you, you're really funny, you have a great smile, amplify that. Play on your strengths. And also, if you really want to shine on stage, because you are a leader, because you are a CEO, because you're pitching for your next app, everything that you do on a daily basis, especially your self-talk, is like the Chinese drop. Okay. So you can cultivate. So that's why therapeutical.
What is going on in your brain? That is why it's therapeutic, because we need to be amplifying what we're telling ourselves, right? But in terms of like how it's kind of expressing itself into our personality.
And also, whoever gets to work with me, whenever they work on like a 2 months, 3 months program, they end up telling me, especially gentlemen, I'm in touch with their wives because we do events and we invite whoever close to them. Their wives are telling me, my husband is more empathic and warmer. You've changed my husband, because you don't change only to speak on stage. It's not like we have a switch on, switch off button. So once you are now activating empathy, once you are recognizing what you can do with your voice, once you're getting in touch with your emotions and you're becoming more expressive for the purpose of connecting.
But that's interesting. So what empathy, how does that have to do with being on stage?
You're not able to connect without...
the connection part. Okay. That's awesome. I like that. I like it. It's because it's like from the inside out.
And also when you're nervous and tense and you haven't been through any public speaking training, you tend to be up in your head. You tend to be structured. You tend to be logical. You tend to have to memorize. And you tend to speak like this and everything sounds right, but you're not feeling.
Yeah.
You don't feel what you want to say. And the audience can read and understand exactly where you are.
Mm-hmm. Let's go into the, I guess you want to call it the technical aspects of it a little bit. Okay. Yeah. What are the 3 main concepts someone should know about public speaking before they go and get on the stage?
The foundational one is how do you manage your nerves, because you will have them. Mm-hmm. So breathing. Okay. But not breathing only before you go on a podcast or on stage, not breathing before you have that meeting, breathing weeks and weeks and weeks before in preparation. So we all can do breathing exercises from YouTube. Mm-hmm. We all can call someone and start to really activate our diaphragmatic breathing, because when you are amplifying and working with the diaphragm, you're able to have more air, therefore sustain your words. Confident people are people who inject emotion, inject power, vitality in their words. So you might be very smart. You might have the best ideas. You might be really active up in your head. But if you're not able to express it because you are nervous or because you don't have the sustenance of air, then you're not able to really use what I call the orchestration.
Right. So whatever's inside of you, the your brains, the genius that you have is nothing if you can't actually express it.
So first is really strengthen your breath. Take it very seriously, especially if you are a leader, especially if you want to build your public image and you want people to, if you want to connect with people and be trustworthy, you have to inject power, emotion. And you can do that only if you really work with the diaphragmatic breathing. And that also gives you balance and you're able to manage your nerves. So people are very surprised when they hear me saying this. They're like, really, you manage your nerves? That's it, breath?
Yeah.
Because we take breathing for granted.
We do.
When I say to them, yes, so now I have to go a bit into the explanation. Yeah. If you are slowing down your breath, you're communicating through your vagus nerve to your entire nervous system that you're safe.
Okay. We need to learn how to do that before getting on the stage, right? Not on the stage. I mean, you
all
can
the time with the chaos that we have in the world.
Yeah.
So your calm nervous system is your superpower in today's chaotic, ever-changing, complex world.
You know what's crazy is that for me, for example, like I always thought I was a fast speaker, just naturally. I thought I was a very fast speaker.
And that's a sign of high intelligence.
It's a sign of high intelligence, but then I heard somewhere it's because I'm a little bit on the anxious side. So I'm quickly trying to relay my message. Once I started, because I have done breath work before and it's awesome.
Right.
My mind has decided, or I've decided that pausing is not a weakness. Like pausing is a necessary part of speech, and it's actually like changed the way I speak. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that like just the way that we think we are?
It takes some of my clients years to master pausing.
Really?
Yes, because we are not comfortable to be in that stillness.
The silence.
When it's silent here on the radio, whichever medium, you have to be okay for people to look at you, for you not to know, to look for the next thought without judging yourself.
That's the trick, not judging yourself, because people, they're not going to judge you. They're going to, when I listen to someone, they're pausing, I'm saying, okay, they're taking their time. This is it. This is how they are.
So, oh my gosh, especially on stage, which I love to be on stage. I love to storytell. I love to really inform people and elevate them. Pausing allows me to keep them on the edge of their chairs. And when I have that cliffhanger where I pause, the brain creates dopamine. And now they are more interested.
They're waiting.
Like I'm doing now.
You're right.
So what I'm going to say next. So now I have an enlarged attention of yours. Your brain creates dopamine and you are even more engaged with me.
100%.
So now that needs cultivation. That needs practice.
Yeah, definitely. It doesn't come easy. It doesn't come easy, but I think it's also connected to tone, I feel, right? Tone and rhythm. But I'm actually very curious about how important is tonality in your speech?
Words alone are almost meaningless without tonality and the gestures. Let me give you an example. Yasmine, I find you really intelligent and pretty. You know what, Yasmine? I find you really intelligent and very pretty.
Yeah, I like that one better.
Right? So, first of all, if I don't have an awareness of my tonality, it means I'm not fully leveraging the power of my voice, of what it's called speaking. I'm using 30% of my power, and that's okay. I was there. If I learn about the voice, and if I learn that the voice has 5 building blocks, as you said, pace, pausing, tonality, pitch, melody, and volume. Now, tonality is the trickiest one because it's the game changer. If you understand how to use tonality, you will be able to massively upgrade the way you are being received and perceived, because tonality reveals the character that you want to be. So I will give you a few examples. Yo, Yasmine, you're pretty and smart. How are you doing, Yasmine? Right?
Yeah.
So Yasmine, I think today you're very pretty and excessively smart, more than yesterday.
Wow.
Or, you know what, Yasmine? You're really pretty. So I can bring a dominant character. I can bring a seductive character. I can bring a smart street boy, girl tonality. So tonality reveals the character I'm embodying.
Okay. That's so interesting.
Think Marilyn Monroe.
Yes.
Seductive. Think Ronald Reagan, presidential, charismatic.
Yeah.
So tonality reveals the character. Also, behind every word that I say, behind every phrase, behind every tone, there is a thought.
Yeah.
If I'm upset with you, I'm like, Yasmine, you disappointed me. No, let me give you a different example. Or I don't give an example, it's fine.
Yeah, it's okay. I understand. The reason why I understand tonality is because, and I think many people subconsciously do, is because sometimes you watch people on stage and they might not make complete logical sense sometimes. However, you're still captivated with what they're saying because I feel like they are coming from emotion, like it's what they're saying is engaging, it's emotional, they have tonality. You feel like they are taking you somewhere.
You're seduced.
Yes.
Because their passion minus their logic, that sometimes you feel that they lost you on the logic, right?
Yeah.
Their passion will always trump logic.
Or so, it's not that they missed the logic. Also, maybe I didn't follow.
Right.
You know?
But you're still engaged
I'm
because
still engaged.
of their tonality and because of their passion.
Yeah, 100%. So I find that really interesting. I love that. Okay, let's talk about authenticity a little bit. So authenticity in the voice. What do people need to know in themselves to access that authenticity? Do they need to know everything? Like, how do they even start bringing that authenticity forward?
Here, I'm going to have a very black and white approach with like no gray, although I'm the most inclusive and flexible and positive person I can be. When it comes to authenticity, it's very black and white.
Okay.
You are or you are not. And if you are not able to be authentic, if you're not able to be yourself, I also understand it. However, if I come here trying to pretend to be someone I'm not, what a waste of my life.
Yeah.
Who can be a better me than me? Who can be a better Yasmine than Yasmine? So we need to practice every day to be more opinionated, to stand in our beliefs, to be more of ourselves, and to be okay not to be liked, to be okay not to fit in, to be okay not to be loved and liked and press follow by everyone. It's also a cope mechanism. It's also a coping mechanism to want to blend in because we need to belong, fair. But when you do it repeatedly, chronically, at the expense of the most precious person in your life, now that's when you are eroding your confidence. And you will not be able to be authentic, to be genuine. So, and if you are there, if you are listening, and if you feel that this might be your case, make a U-turn. Go on a retreat, read more books, journal, and come back to, because we all do these divergent roads. We all go a little bit away from ourselves and then we come back. It's part of life.
100%. The thing is also with authenticity, maybe these days it's a little bit of a buzzword because I feel like people are using it to look. There's a certain
you know who is authentic, Yasmine? The person who had the courage to look in the mirror and say, I've been fake. I had to fake it. I had to have some defense mechanisms to be strong. And now I'm going to go to therapy. Now I'm going to go to the retreats. I'm going to put this unnecessary shield down.
Right.
And I'm going to free myself and be myself and say, I don't know.
And I like that you gave the tips on how to cultivate the authenticity, which is, cultivate your own opinions, read more books, go and find yourself in the forest somewhere.
You don't know you don't know what you like because you are the culture you are coming from. You are the religion you've been baptized under. You are the city, the country you've been living in. But then the more you travel, the more you are attracted by genuine people. They will spark and activate something in you. And